Hey and welcome to today's video. My name is Julian and on my channel is all about making you crypto fit. That means we discuss things like decentralization, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and many more things. Today I want to do a reaction video. I don't do many of those. Today I want to do one, and it is from Ray Dalio from the World Economic Forum. He was interviewed there by CNBC. It's quite a brief interview. I've linked it up down below and you can look in and you can see the entire interview for yourself. I'm going to show you two little clips and then I want to discuss those. And his main statement there was cash is trash. And let's first look at this one and then let's discuss what this is actually all about.
But also the question is, what do you jump into when you jump off the train? And the issue is you can't jump into cash. Cash is trash, okay? Cash is that they're going to, because they're going to print money. What do? You get out.
So obviously he has this very interesting point. The interviewer asks him, so how do you get out? What would you do with your money? It's all about this market going up so extreme. And he says, well, the problem is, let's say you sell, where do you put your cash into? And he says cash is trash, and it's simply because of inflation, because of the money printing. And I do think to a certain extent he is right. I do agree that, well, cash to a certain degree is actually not the most valuable thing. It's actually cash flow. But also in many scenarios, you need liquidity, right? You need to be able to move in and out of assets really quick. And so on this one hand, I do understand where he's coming from. But, and now let's make the huge but. And I link down all the links, the references below. So Dalio right now in Bridgewaters, which is like his fund, he actually has a very high cash position at the moment. Also, Warren Buffett, I link this down below, all-time high cash position. All the large companies like Google, Apple, Facebook, all these companies, they have humongous cash positions, right? So you're wondering, on the one hand, you have this super rich billionaire that's super successful in investing. And then on the other side, you are not really sure on, well, what's actually happening and what does this all mean? And well, in my opinion, it's a very curious scenario if you kind of compare all this. Well, because you sit there and you think, very interesting. So on the one hand, why does he say cash is trash? But then on the other hand, there's so many people who actually are, well, who are really wealthy and successful and who do the exact opposite, right? And so I think that's really key in all of that. And the interesting question then obviously becomes, so in this crisis scenario, right, where do you put your money? And where should you have your money? And Dalio obviously argues heavily for putting it into stocks, and stocks being very strong, and that's the key thing, you having to diversify, right? And that's what he always believes in. And so now comes a very interesting question that I want to show, because first they talk about gold, and Dalio saying you should have some gold, and then there's this second part where he talks about Bitcoin. And so I want to show you that really brief part where he talks about Bitcoin, and let's comment on that.
No, here's, there are two purposes of money: a medium of exchange and a storehold of wealth. And Bitcoin is not effective in either of those cases now.
Store of wealth?
Store of, no, because first
potentially.
Of all, it's too volatile. Because of the volatility, you can't go next to it. Someday when it, you know, I would say Libra or something which has more stable value, has got more potential. But also, who's going to do the buying? Central bankers and others. What are they going to hold as reserves? What has been tried and true? Are they going to hold digital Bitcoin? They're going to hold gold. That is a reserve currency, and it's been a reserve currency for 1,000 years. I don't want to, I know this is going to be the headline of gold. I want to emphasize a bit of gold is a diversifier, okay? And that's the advice I can give. I know I'm going to come out of here like Ray Dalio's wild on gold, and that's not exactly.
I'm not saying cash is trash is your headline.
But cash is trash.
But Ray.
So obviously an interesting one. He discussed various topics, and you should watch the full video down below. But so this is my kind of take from this. I think when he says cash is trash, he doesn't mean